Okay, today we have Scheer questioning Trudeau on a Saturday, the Easter weekend. Parliament comes back and they should find a way to resume. All right, watch this.
Equipment. So can the Prime Minister please update this House as to how many ventilators he has secured and on what date they will reach Canadian hospitals?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
As we know, there is a worldwide demand for personal protective equipment and ventilators that is through the roof. We have therefore both reached out to suppliers of medical products that Canada has long worked with around the world, as well as seen unprecedented efforts by Canadian industry to deliver ventilators that will be made in Canada. I can assure people that the approach is working. We are seeing production of ventilators in Canada begin. It will be still a few weeks before they are able to arrive. And in the meantime, we continue to work to procure them from around the world.
Opposition Leader.
Mr. Speaker, on March 25th, the Finance Minister told the Senate that help for the energy sector was coming within, quote, hours or days and not weeks. It has now been 2.5 weeks since that date with no announcement. Reports are circulating that a proposal did in fact go to Cabinet, but that it was rejected. So is it the Prime Minister's position that there will in fact be no help for Canada's energy sector and the tens of thousands of Canadians that it employs?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
We recognize the triple challenges faced by workers in the energy sector right now that has been extraordinarily difficult for people in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland and Labrador. The low oil prices have long been a challenge. On top of that, the COVID crisis on economic terms has led to a lowering of demand for oil as people don't travel nearly as much as normal. And at the same time, the health crisis has let people into isolation and remaining to stay home, and families across the country are suffering from this, but particularly those in Alberta in the oil sector. That is why we moved quickly on 2 measures to help as many people as we could across the country: the Canada Emergency Response Benefit and the wage subsidy at 75%. There will be more coming for the oil sector as we develop sectoral solutions.
The Honourable Opposition Leader.
He left out the quadruple challenge, Mr. Speaker. That was his government's cancelling of projects. And remember, it was his finance minister that promised it was coming in days, not weeks. People who are suffering because of this crisis are suffering in real time and cannot afford to wait longer. Mr. Speaker, documents now reveal that in early January, military intelligence began producing detailed technical reports about the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus in Wuhan, China. A yes or no question. Did the Prime Minister see these reports, yes or no?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as members of the Five Eyes, we were privy to significant military and intelligence reports on the status of things happening around the world. There were enough flags for us to convene an incident response group at the end of January. We also began increasing screening at major airports and limiting flights from Wuhan.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, these are very simple yes or no questions. Was this information from the military intelligence report shared with the Public Health Agency of Canada, yes or no?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
From the beginning, Mr. Speaker, we worked with all agencies to ensure that the relevant information was shared across departments. We needed to make the best possible decisions based on recommendations from scientists, from health researchers, from international allies, and that's what we did.
The Opposition Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister's wage subsidy that we will be debating throughout the day today is a lifeline to those companies who can still afford to pay any wages at all. There remains a significant number of businesses across the country who are receiving no revenue, who aren't able to pay any wages at all because they've had their doors closed for almost a month now. The Conservatives have put forward the idea of rebating the GST to allow those small businesses that have no revenue at all to pay some of their bills, to pay their rents, so that they can stay open when this crisis is over, so they can reopen when this crisis is over. Will the Prime Minister consider this proposal to ensure that there are jobs for Canadians to go back to at the end of this pandemic?
Premier Minister.
The Honourable Prime Minister.
A number of people in this House, we are extremely pleased with the level of collaboration, of input from all parliamentarians and all parties as we look to ensure that we're helping Canadians as much as possible in this situation. We've moved forward on a wage subsidy. We've moved forward on a Canada Emergency Response Benefit. We've moved forward on low-interest loans, of which 25%, $10,000, will be forgivable for small businesses. We recognize there's more to do, and we look forward to continuing to work with all parliamentarians to make sure we're helping Canadians in the right way.
The Honourable Member for 𝙬𝙬𝙬.
Well, leave your comments down below. Anything we think Parliament should find a way to resume. Only have like 3 members per, what have you. There's all kinds of video conferencing. There's something we've heard that's something coming up from Leapfrog or something. Again, leave your comments below. Have a good day.